that thing that's beating in your doggone chest right now. Can you feel that? Can you feel what's about to happen on this field, man?
Hey, this is Hillary Goldstein, Editor-in-Chief of IGN Xbox 360, here to give you a video review of Madden NFL 2008. We've been saying for the last couple of years, oh, here comes the next-gen Madden, and boy, have we been wrong. But this year, honestly, Madden 08 is actually the first worthy next-gen version of Madden. So this year EA's added a new branching animation system, which basically means that you can kind of pull out of one move and go into another one. So you can start a juke and then do like a stiff arm right away, whereas before you kind of had to wait for one animation to end. They've also done a lot of nifty things like made it so that receivers will actually try to tiptoe around the sidelines, and you know, if they're about to catch a ball, they'll actually try to keep their feet in bounds instead of just immediately jumping out of bounds for a catch. And all this is going to be based on their ratings, so that if you have a receiver who's really good like Chad Johnson, he's going to have a lot better chance of actually staying in bounds to make that catch than somebody else. Also this year, Madden has added some real gang tackling stuff that is going on, so you'll actually see one guy will grab, say, LaDainian Tomlinson and kind of hold on to him while you know, another linebacker will come in and put on a hit. There's quite a lot of plays where it's people sort of slowing down really good ball carriers until somebody can finally take them down. With that, they've added Hit Stick 2.0, which now, before you always kind of just press the right thumbstick in the direction you want to tackle, but now you actually have a choice between doing a high tackle or a low tackle. Low tackle is a cut tackle going at somebody's legs, which can be a good way to get down a running back, but at the same time, you know, if you miss, they're going to jump over you and they could go for daylight. So it's kind of cool that there's a dynamic now to the system where there wasn't one before. So while a lot of the gameplay has improved and certainly the animations look a lot better, there's still a lot of problems that Madden has had for a long time that persist. You're going to see with almost any kicker, if you get a perfectly powered kick, it's going to go almost to the back of the end zone. And you know, if you watch the NFL, there aren't a lot of touchbacks anymore, but it happens all the time in Madden. It's a little bit ridiculous. And you know, you still can't call any kind of plays on the receiving team. You can't, you know, say I want to do a reverse or anything like that. So it's still very archaic, and you'd think by now EA would have actually gotten its act together and done something with the special teams so it actually was like it is in the NFL. But fortunately, there's a lot more good than bad in Madden this year. One of the cool things that they've added is a weapons feature. And what that is basically any player who has over a 90 rating and specific abilities will get a weapons classification. And so, you'll have a smart quarterback for Peyton Manning, and that means that if the defense keeps calling the same plays over and over again, he'll be able to actually read the defense, figure out what play they're doing. You'll actually see the play on the field so you can counter it, and of course, Peyton's great at doing those audibles, so it's a perfect fit for him. LaDainian Tomlinson will be he'll be an elusive back because he has a better ability to slip through tackles. You're going to have power hitters like Sean Merriman's a great example of a guy who hits with a lot of power, so he has a lot more chance of getting a guy to drop the ball when he gets him with the hit stick. On the feature side of things, the franchise mode is more or less what you saw from last year, but there have been a couple of other additions. Ownership mode is sort of back. It's in what's called finance mode now. You won't get to do traditional stuff from an ownership mode like setting ticket prices and concession prices and really managing your money that way. But you will be able to build a new stadium, and that's a pretty deep feature. And you also have a lot more abilities in terms of scouting players, college players throughout the year, and also just sort of managing the economic flow of your team for several years instead of just kind of worrying about the cap year to year. You actually can kind of look and project towards the future a little bit more. So in that way, it's more of like a GM mode, but it works pretty well. So the promise of sort of an ownership mode maybe wasn't fully delivered on. Also improved this year is Superstar mode. They've actually fixed the camera for all positions, so you're going to have a good camera angle no matter what position you choose to be a superstar in. And also this year, you can play as any of the rookies. So if you want to try and be Calvin Johnson and basically bring him from being a rookie to being a Hall of Famer over his career, you can do that now. That's a pretty awesome feature to have. The only thing is that because these guys have already been drafted, you will have to play on the teams they've been drafted on. So unfortunately, if you want to be Calvin Johnson, you do have to play on the Lions, which may hurt your chances of becoming a Hall of Fame player. But with any luck, after a few years, you'll get into free agency and get to go to a good team. So Madden NFL 08 is a better game than last year, and it is the first game that really does utilize the next-gen technology to give us a game with cooler animations, just a better overall look, and a deeper game. However, there are still some nagging problems that have hurt this franchise for a long time that haven't been addressed. The franchise mode just isn't quite as deep as we'd like it to be, and I have to say that it is disappointing that special teams is still being overlooked and that ownership mode isn't the kind of ownership mode that everybody was hoping for. That said, Madden is the only game with the NFL license, and it is a good game. It just doesn't happen to be a great game. And if you're a longtime Madden fan or if you just love the NFL, this is certainly one to pick up. Just don't expect the best Madden experience you've ever had.
Y'all don't hear me, y'all don't listen, y'all